HyperMonkeys, how's it going? This is Coach John, and today is February the 9th on a Sunday. It's kind of raining here over in Santa Clara, California. But last Monday, I posted a post in the Facebook group, and the post is going to be something I'm going to be doing every Monday from now on, just to gauge what you guys are looking for, what type of information that you guys want to know. And every Sunday, I'm going to go ahead and come out with a quick video blog about to answer your questions. So there are 3 questions that came out from last week, and I wanted to go ahead and answer those for you today. Now you see me looking over to my right. I have my notes on what I'm going to be talking about. So I'm going to start with something that's really key and really important. Motivational tips. So a lot of times people have trouble trying to motivate themselves in order to work out, and I'm going to give you 3 tips to kind of get you going. Now, just to let you know, the next piece that's going to come after the motivational tips will be time management for exercise. And these two kind of go 2 and 2 together. Okay, they kind of go together, and you're not going to be able to manage your time if you're not motivated to do so. Pretty simple, right? Pretty factual. So let's start off with the first motivational tip, and that is changing your perspective. All right, guys. So any way you look at things, you're either going to look at it one of 2 ways. You're either going to look at it positive or negative. Sure, people consider there's a gray scale, but at the end of the day, we're just going to stick to the simple fact that you're going to look at it positive or negative. If we keep it that way, it'll make it that much more simpler for you to find out which direction you want to go. You know, life is going to give you some crazy things, some crazy forks in the roads. They'll just throw things your way constantly, and you have to be able to transmute that into something that's workable for you. Like, say the only time you can work out would be like 12 a.m., like early in the morning. If that's the only time you can work out, you know, try to think of some good reasons for that. Maybe there's not going to be a lot of people working out at that time. Maybe you can focus more. Maybe you won't have any phone calls coming at you. You have to make it work for you. If that's what you got, then make it work. Make it count. Let's look at the second motivational tip. I put here, you know, set an achievable goal with some consequences. Now, I wanted to use such a strong word as consequence because, you know, sometimes we have to be a little bit strong. I'm known as being a nice guy and you know, finding ways around things, but sometimes you just gotta set your foot down. You know what? If you plan it, it will succeed and it will go through. Take some time out during the day. Try to find out when the best time it is for you to work out. Try to give yourself an achievable goal, like say in five weeks I'm gonna lose, you know, 6 pounds, 7 pounds, and keep yourself to it. And if, you know, 1 week you don't work out and you don't eat right, you know, give yourself something to remind you, like a little punishment of sorts, to remind you that you have to stay on track. Whether you put something like you make a missed workout jar and put 25 cents every time you don't work out, or $1 every time you don't work out, to go towards like a gift for a significant other, right? Or to go towards buying everybody else pizza, which you cannot touch. Do things like that, and that's going to help you really stay focused on yourself. And it's kind of a, you know, a negative reinforcement type of thing. On the third motivational tip, we're actually going to go in the other direction. Outside of, you know, giving yourself a negative reinforcer, why don't you go ahead and give yourself a positive reinforcer? Give yourself a reward that you can work towards at the end of that goal, right? If your goal is to lose 5 pounds in 6 weeks, right? If you meet your goal, or if you exceed your goal, find yourself some type of reward and make yourself accountable to get that reward. Whether it be you know, spending a day at the beach, right, or going out with some friends and just going crazy. You know, it's up to you. But you know, everybody's human. Make sure that you find something that you would love to be that icing on the cake to get you going. With that said, let's jump into time management. You know, I'm going to put my little piece here. If time management, it's really important that you get yourself motivated before you even do this. Go back to the motivational tips. Make sure that you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, you can plan all you want in the world. It's not going to happen unless you make yourself want to do it. Okay. So let's look at time management tip number 1. Okay. I'm going to make it really easy for you guys. We can plan as much as we want, but if you just tell yourself, right, time management wise, that you can wake up 20 to 30 minutes, or yeah, 20 to 30 minutes before your normal wake up time. It's not an hour, it's not 2 hours. You won't be too thrown off of your sleep schedule, and just work out, right? Just work out 20, 30 minutes. From whenever you wake up. You don't need weights. You could just do it all body weight. Just focus on getting it done, making that a routine. Once you've gotten that done, it'll be a lot easier to move forward and finding more time to work out. Sometimes you just need to get it done, get it out of the way. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, what you can do as well is, if you're a little bit more analytical, you can go ahead and try to plan out your days at the beginning of the week, right? Take a look at what you plan to do during the week and find that half an hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes to work out, right? If you just set some time out just to pre-plan, it usually makes it a lot easier to go through the day, because we're all busy, we're all running around doing things. That's going to help help you get going. Finally, if all else fails, I got a little fail safe. One that I like to do with a lot of my clients when they say they don't have time. Every hour, right? Find 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's all you have to do. Find 5 minutes. Work on one exercise. See how many reps and sets you can do for that 5 minutes. Right? If you do that for 8 hours a day, you've just done 40 minutes of working out. Right? You could do the same exercise. You can mix it up. You can do a daily thing. But it's 5 minutes of your time. It'll do a couple of things for you. One, it'll make sure that you work out. Right? It's only 5 minutes. What are you going to do? Watch a commercial at that time? Two, it'll get you on track and get you moving, and it'll actually calm your nerves a bit if you're working all day long and doing some high pressure things. Yeah, that's about it, guys. I get a little ADD sometimes, but a little thrown off with my tips, but it's going to get better as we move forward. Hopefully that answered your questions for the motivational tips and the time management tips. Up next, I'm going to go into something just a little bit more technical, right, with the workout side. Somebody had a question on performance, sleeping, muscle building during that time as well. So I'm going to go back here to my notes. Let's start off with how sleep affects your muscle gain and performance. Right. Let's start out with the muscle gain itself. Luckily, right, your GH, or your growth hormone. It isn't totally affected by your sleep cycle. It is to a point, but not as bad as you guys may or may not think. When you're sleeping, as long as you're not going like days on end without sleep, you're still able to secrete or produce the growth hormone that you need during the day, during your daytime hours. Say if you're going through changes in your work schedule, right? It might throw you off a little bit. You might work out like a day shift one day and then a night shift the other day, so you might be totally thrown off. You can still secrete about 50% of your GH while you're sleeping, and the rest of it just kind of just compensates during the day. So you know that your muscle gain will not be affected. Now, if you're going, like I said earlier, a few days off without a good amount of sleep, or even not sleeping, depending on what's going on in your life, that will definitely inhibit a lot of your bodily function. So that's something that you might want to watch out for. But for those of us that kind of like to burn the midnight candle during the midnight hours, this should be good news that you won't be totally affecting your muscular gains. Performance. This is kind of a weird one. So, from what I've found, performance-wise, people have, there hasn't been a supreme, research write-up that people can go to look for. Maybe I just haven't found it yet, but from what I've found, it kind of depends, performance-wise. If you're only lacking a little bit of sleep, and if it's a minute case, right, a small case, you can actually enhance your training with a little bit of caffeine or a little bit of creatine, and it should help you just kind of get through. Now, if you're going through a couple of days without sleep, it's probably best just to try to get that sleep in. And you can do that in just one session, just to reinvigorate yourself. It's not something that it will take 3 or 4 days to get you back going. getting on the ball again. So that's it, guys. This is my poster to answer your questions. If you have any more questions, please comment on that, and it'll get better as time goes by. Thank you.